Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss about assumptions of linear regression. Whenever we work on linear regression, these assumptions must satisfy. Firstly, that if you go to the different books or different research paper, you will find that there are many assumptions for linear regression. So I have picked some of the best, most important assumptions of linear regression and I will discuss those only. So currently, there are six assumptions that are more important. The first is linearity. Second is multicollinearity. That means no multicollinearity. Third is mean of the residuals should be zero. Fourth is homoscedasticity, or and its opposite is heteroscedasticity. Fifth is residuals normality, and the sixth one, the x variables and residuals should be uncorrelated. So let's discuss this one by one. The first one is linearity. What linearity says that relationship between x variables, that means our independent variables, and y variables shall be linear. So you can see in the picture the above two graphs are linear because in this x and y follow a relationship. In the first one, that means upper left, when x increases y also increases, and in the second graph, that means upper right one, if x increases y decreases. So there is some relation between x and y, but in the bottom two graph you can see that there is no any relationship between x and y. In the bottom left or in the bottom right, you can see that firstly when x increases y reduces, but again when x increases y starts increasing. So it means that there is no any relationship between this x and y here in the bottom two. But sometimes using some external function like log, exponential, or some sigmoid function or any other functions, we convert our non-linear function into linear. So we can try that also. So this is about linearity. That means this is first assumptions of linear regression, that there should x variables and y should be, there should be linearity between x variables and y variables. Second is the no multicollinearity. So multicollinearity is the condition when our two independent variables are strongly correlated. Correlated means that they follow some relation. Like if one variable increases, then other also increases or decreases. I mean there is some relationship. Like if I explain you, then in some data set you can see that there are two things, age as well as years of experience. So definitely if age will be more, years of experience will be more in most of the cases except some exception. So in that case we can see that we can remove one variables out of this age and years of experience. So there are two methods or in Python that we generally use to find the correlation between variables. Either you can use correlation graph or heat map. So this is heat map. In the picture you can see we have three variables a, b and c. So you can see that correlation between a and c is minus 0.7. Okay, just to tell you that if correlation is close to minus 1 or plus 1, then it means that it's strongly correlated. So 0.7 is not strongly correlated, it's good but not that much good. Again 0.52 between a and b, so this is also not very strongly correlated. Now coming to b and c, so you can see between b and c we have minus 0.86 of correlation. That means it's a there is good correlation between b and c. So we can remove either b or c from our model while building. So that is what multicollinearity is. There should not be correlation between strong correlation between two independent variables. Third one, that is the mean of the residuals should be 0. So firstly let me tell you that residuals is nothing but the difference between observed value and estimated value. Like in the picture you can see that all these blue points are the actual values or observed values, and these red dots are estimated values for those observed values. So residuals is nothing but the difference between the estimated values and observed values. Okay, so if we find the mean of all these residuals, like mean of R1 and R2 and R3, then it should be 0. That is what our assumption says. Okay, mean of the residuals should be 0. Now coming the most important, and this is the most important because in interviews this is the most important questions. What is homoscedasticity and its opposite is heteroscedasticity. So first let's break the name. Homo means same and scedasticity means variance. So it means that same variance, there should be same variance in our model. Now what is that? Now if the let me go to the definition first and then I will explain you via picture. If the variance in the residual error is constant regardless of the dependent variable x, then it is homoscedastic. Okay, or in other way you can say dependent variables have same variance across range of values of independent variable. So in the first picture, which is the homoscedastic, you can see that residuals is always limited to the a particular field. It is almost constant. Even if predicted value increases, then also residuals remain same. But in the second case, where it's not homoscedastic, it's heteroscedastic, the residuals value increases as the predicted value increases. So that should not be there. Residuals error should be constant. That is what homoscedastic is. This is you can say little more important. So just that's it. Next is the residuals normality. Residuals normality is nothing but that residuals should have normal distribution. Normal distribution, which is also known as Gaussian distribution or uniform distribution, is a probability distribution that is symmetric about the mean. So what does that mean is that data near the mean data near the mean are more frequent, more in occurrence than data far from mean. So you can see that there are 297 values in this example, and out of that you can see there are around 25 and plus 25, 50 values are there which are near the mean. Mean is the 0 of this example. You can see the mean is the 0. So around 50 values are around the mean, and you can see that as we go away from the mean in either side, the number of occurrence reduces. So in graph form, normal distribution which will always appear as a bell curve. So whenever you are drawing residuals, then you will find that whatever the mean of the residuals is, yeah, definitely that is also true that mean of the residuals should be 0 in case of linear regression assumptions. So near 0, the number of occurrence should be more. So that is what residuals normality. Next and the last is that x variables and residuals should not be correlated. There should not be any correlation between x and residuals. And if there is a correlation, that should be very small, like it should be 0.2, 0.1, like that it can be okay, but it should not be close to 1. So that's about the assumptions of linear regression. Thank you for